Hello. This pedal assembly I believe is from something like a 40 pickup or something like that, or some Ford, but not a 32. So what I'm going to try and do is to make it fit my 32. What I noticed, that there appears to be a pin there holding that end, and I just put it in the vise and hit it with a punch, and I have started it moving. You can see it's kind of sticking out a little bit at the bottom. So I'm going to carry on and try and get that out. I just improvised a punch from this screw. I was able to get it moving, and it's sticking out the other end now. So I'll see if I can just... Can you see it down there? Look there. Can you see it there? Look, sticking down. I can now grab hold of that and pull it out. Okay, so stage one, success. I just started wobbling this like that, look, and I was able to get it moving, so it came off. It's a bit sort of gummy rather than dry. So this tubular part is captive in that thing there. I'm kind of saying this for my own records, and I need the little humpback bridge piece that goes over the end there. I'm not sure what I've done with that. I've got one somewhere. So this one here, because it's got a shape there and a shape there, I'll have to cut it, shorten it and join it back together again. And this one here needs cleaning up. I need to work out how much I need to shorten it by first. Okay, right. So if knocking the pin out was stage one, that's stage two. So good little bit of success there so far then. Look at the mess on my bench. Look at it. God. How can I do anything? I just get caught up in the moment of, working out how to do things. Some people must hate me for that, but hey, I can't help the way I am. Okay, righto, back in a bit. I made a bad mistake then. I tried to part it off in the lathe, and it snapped. It grabbed and snatched in the chuck. Made a right mess of it. Okay, I'll have to see what I can salvage from this. Not rigid enough for parting. Okay, lesson learned. Righto. Okay, by hook or by crook, I've kind of straightened it out as best I can. And what worked best was to ram a 10mm drill up it, the shank of a 10mm drill, then hammer it, then put it in the lathe and use the chuck to squeeze it back down onto the drill to kind of form it to the drill. Then I just put it in the lathe and put a 5/16 punch up this end and pulled it till it was straight. So I've got a 5/16 bolt up there. Well, it's actually 8mm, but it's as near as enough the same. So now I need to just align the joins there and start welding it back together. But with that bolt in place, it'll keep them in alignment. So I need to just weld around there now. I just offered it in place and it looks to me like it's kind of in the right place. And this is shortened 1 inch from what I had. I've got it all clamped up. This bolt pivots. Oh, it isn't actually clamped. Oh well. I'm going to try and put a tack in that little gap there. So I'm going to go in very gently with the gas. If I can get it tacked, I can take one of the clamps off and put a bit of weld on the other side or something like that. Wish me luck. I can't film it. It's too tricky. there's the weld. That was really, I don't mind saying, that was really tricky. I kind of welded it round, and then I kind of went round and just fused it, you know, just melted it, but it was very tricky because it's rather thin. Okay, a good salvage job, I think, you know, considering it was what a mess it was when it come off the lathe. Okay, I need to find that piece that goes there. Right, okay, take care and I'll catch you later. I managed to find that little humpback bridge piece, and I'm quite pleased because it fits. In other words, I made this piece, I shortened this piece before I had that piece in hand, but I just took my best guess at where it needed to be. So that fits, and it all bolts up nicely. I haven't shortened the shaft yet, but I just wanted to show you that I have found that and been able to put it in place. Funny enough, this wasn't in the garage at all. It was in the drawer in my bedside cabinet, so I'm glad I did find that. So, I mean, I could have tore this place apart looking for that. I was able to buy some screws, these flat pan head screws, because I'm going to use those on the dash. Not sure if they're the right type for here, but they're all I've got really. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, I'm just come to the milling machine. There's my spindle, my accelerator sort of crank arm thing, and that I've just got it. So the middle part of the vise there is more or less parallel with the axis of the machine. I couldn't use the V on the block because the jaws weren't tall enough to grip on this part here. It was tipping it over. So what I've done, I've put it like that, and I've got that so that to my eye looks vertical. Okay, I might need two hands for this, but what I'm doing now, I'm bringing that down and I'm winding this handle back. Now I've just done it actually, and I'm sort of redoing it for the camera, but I was using two hands, so I was doing it, you know, I was doing it like in a more natural way. So I'm sort of doing it like this. That's close actually. Yeah, that's just gone in now. Now the reason I've done it like that, I've wound it this way and that's just gone in. So I'm going to set this dial to 0 and then wind it another inch. So I'll do that. So this is, it's really nice having a milling machine. Hang on. That's 0. But do you understand what I've done? I've wound it in that direction so there's no free play. One division equals, oh sorry, no, it's 250, so one turn is 1/4 of an inch, so I need 4 turns. I just had a quick glance over that nothing's going to crash, so I don't know if you can see the numbers, but I can see the numbers. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've just gone past. No. 20, 10. Oh. Okay. 0. I'll put the carriage lock on there. So that there, in theory, is an inch further over than that one. Now I don't trust that drill to drill straight into that. Well, I'm hoping this is drilling now. I've had to go and sharpen the drill. Ooh. Now with a bit of luck that's gone straight. If I haven't had good luck, it will have opened up like a double hole on this side. So let's get it out and have a look. Okay. Oh, that's okay, isn't it? Look, it's come through nice and clean. I think it was worth the while setting it up and you know, doing it in the milling machine, because it's gone through nice and clean. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, okay, good. Pleased with that. Really good, actually. Something that's gone right for a change. Normally it's a recipe of disaster, isn't it? Okay. Hello. Right, I've kind of cleaned this up a bit. Cleaned the welds up a bit. And I've put the shaft through and the spring on. I've cleaned the spring up. That come up pretty good, actually. Cleaned that. And I've just put that on. There's the hole. Can you see daylight through there? Look. Yeah, there you go. So now I'm going to see if the pin will tap in. The pin knocked in. It didn't just go in, and I'm pleased to say there's no free play on that. I hoped, you know, it would be a tight fit, and it is a nice tight fit. But what I just did then, I kind of put it like that, and just peened it with that ball peen hammer there. Just kind of peened it a little bit around the area, then flipped it over and did the same on that side there. I think that will be okay now, so that is capable of being fitted to the car. I've fitted the pedal, so you can see it down there, look, and the bracket thing there. It's in the car, and I offered it up, and I brought this to full throttle with the pedal on the floor inside, and I pulled this back to, you know, to wide open. And it's just over 10 3/4, and I looked around and I found this mechanism, this rod, which is off a French military motor, and it was for the governor, and it was around about the right length. And these ones here, they're like an early Ford track rod end, like a tie rod end, where it's got a screw that goes in from the end, you know, with a socket on it. What I wanted to do is I wanted it just very slightly shorter than it was. And what I found was that the drilling here isn't quite deep enough to take all of the thread. So I've cut the very end off the thread on both ends, put it back on, and now that goes wide open throttle. Like that, bang. It's very important to check that you've got wide open throttle. And looking on the inside of the vehicle, this goes to wide open about 1/4 of an inch off the board. So you've got that amount of flex in the system there, so you can mash it right to the floor. That's wide open there, so you've got that amount of bend. You know, which might take account of the fact that it might have a carpet or something in it. You never know. What I'm saying is it's close enough to the floor that if you mash it right to the floor, you've only stretched, you know, you've only kind of flexed the linkage a tiny bit, and that's okay. If it went full throttle an inch off the floor and you pressed it right to the floor, you'd probably bend something, is what I'm trying to say. So I'd say for using what I had around me, that's not too bad. And I'll just show. The only problem with this is you can't slip this on and off like you can the Ford ones. You have to undo this end just a few turns, and then it'll slip off like that. It would be good if it was a left and a right hand thread, but they're both right hand, but that's okay. But there are little lock nuts. I think that's alright. That'll get me going, that'll get me down the road. So that's a neat little job there. I've shortened that tube part, fitted it, it fits in, and I've found something I can use there. You know, it's military, it's high quality, isn't it? not rubbish. Okay. Hello. Right, I've kind of adjusted the length and put some grease on, put the end caps in, and put some R-clips in as well. Put some clips in there to stop them coming undone. A little bit difficult to get in. These holes are very small, but I think that's enough to get the car going, and it'll probably be, you know, still in there like 20 years from now. So that's another little part of the jigsaw in place. That now connects the driver to the engine, and I think it looks pretty good actually. Pretty kind of tough, agricultural, no nonsense, mechanical. Okay, right. Now that's in place, I can look to see where I want to try and mount the coil. Do I want to mount it on here, for instance, somewhere like that? The problem is I don't really want to drill a hole in the bulkhead. High power. But I needed that mechanism in place because, to be honest, I got the coil bolted over here somewhere and it would have been in the way. Righto, that's another job for another day. Right, cup of tea time. Okay, I'll see you later then. Bye. Hello, I've got a bit of a problem. My problem is that I spaced the steering box over to overcome a problem with the clutch there, and to overcome a problem with my floorboard there. But I've introduced a secondary problem that's still rather close. Is that bolt there, down there, that bolt is very close, if not touching the header. Now I'm a bit uncomfortable about that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have to probably remake this part, this piece of wood. I'm going to have to bend the clutch arm over, and I won't remake this part because it was too difficult, but I'll kind of scallop it away to clear the steering column. So I'm going to move the whole thing this way. That will create a problem there, but I will fix it by bending the clutch pedal. That will create a problem there, but I'll fix that by making a new piece of wood, which I can just kind of draw around this and move that bit over, or maybe just trim it out there, I don't know. But can you see here, look, there is a little cutaway in the floor. Well, that, you would think that that's where the pedal should be. And this one here, this is, you know, getting on for sort of 5/8 of an inch further over. So let's say that this is right. This pedal needs to come over to here. That will give clearance there. That means the whole thing can come across and create more clearance down there. And I will have to make some new spaces for here. So basically I'm going to have to do the whole job again. Typical. This is the problem when you have a car that isn't stock, but it's also the sort of thing that you see examples of people's cars that haven't been built properly. So when you're offering advice, you know, that, oh, this should have been done different or that should have been done different, you can't then on your own car start making mistakes and giving examples of something that hasn't been done right. Bear in mind that this pedal wasn't designed to clear this column. This column should be up here. You know, the original column would have been up here, and that pedal would have cleared it. This clearance problem here is due to the fitment of the F1 box. I will have to dismantle the floor and that piece that's above there, and I'll have to take the header off, and I'll have to take this off. So that's quite a big job, isn't it? Yeah, just showing you that sometimes you have to have 2 or 3 iterations of something before you can say that it's okay. I have taken out the spaces that are made for here, and I've just put 3 of these thin washers in there. And with those 3 washers, this end of it is in the right place. Now what I can see is that it's a bit close here, so I might have to recess that a little bit, which is a pain, and I might have to do something with the clutch pedal. But can you see from this angle also that that clutch pedal appears to be too far over to the right? So one thing at a time then, I will recess it. I'll put a little recess there. Now either that, or I could put a dent in the tube, or I could move this over a bit. Yeah, I think I might move this over a bit and take one of the washers out. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to try bending this clutch pedal cold. Oh, it didn't spring back much, did it? So that might be too much. Okay. Right. Okay. Back in a bit. Need 2 hands. Right, I've put the column back on. I've put the pedal back on. And now it clears the column. So that's good. And it actually isn't quite as far over as the thing. So what I might do actually is bend it straight at the top, because that arc's going to be a bit out now, and that will probably get it back over where it wants to be to fit my floorboard. So I'm going to try that. Okay, I'm just going to put a little slightly corrective bend on this end now. I think that's high enough to... That's just gone a little bit. Okay. Well, that's the bit of interference I've got there now. Okay, so I'm just going to reach in there, put a mark with the pen. Oops, like that. And also here. Oops. Okay, gives me an idea. That just gives me an idea. Okay. Hello. I've just juggled all my compromises, and I've cut that board there to clear the new position of the clutch pedal. I've opened it up there where the column goes through, and I have basically settled on just 2 of these washers on that bolt there, and the others are all done up tight. Well, they're all done up tight, and it gives just a little bit of clearance on that bolt there, which I could improve by using a thin head bolt and leaving the washer off. I just offered this up inside, and you can see there where I've just marked through the holes with a pen. So I need to file these holes to that side just a little bit, which is quite palatable. I think I can live with that. Hello. Right, I've just filed these holes to the side like that, and I've just made these little washers just to go in there like that, just so that the bolt is spread a little bit. They're only 6mm bolts, they're not very big. I'll bolt that up and see how it looks. Right, so I've put the steering column mount on, put the steering column mount on. This just, can you see it just rattles around in there? That's good because that means it isn't bound up tight against one side or the other. If it was like really hard and you have to push it hard to get it to move in that area there, you'd know there's a problem. So that's good, that's nice and free now. It clears the floorboard okay. Not as nicely as if I'd done it right in the first place, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And what I'll do, I'll sort of put a bit of rubber around that and another secondary little metal plate or something. I'll kind of work around that somehow. I need to work out exactly how it's supposed to be. But I think that's okay. That's a good compromise all round now. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, it looks okay in there. It fits okay. This fits up nice. What I need to think about is like the ignition switch and a light switch. So, you know, little bit by little bit, things are moving on. So I've had a good session today. Like you say, you'd walk up to the car and you wouldn't actually notice that anything was different. But in my heart of hearts, I know that things are just going to work that bit better now. Okay. Thanks very much for bearing with me though on my multiple reworks. You take care and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.